All right, this is going to be the first video in a series of videos for Cepheus engine. So we're going to break it apart into sections. So we're just going to talk about the character sheet. I'm going to try not to go off on tangents. So here is a character that I already made. Now I made it using the character wizard. So I'm not going to go through that. If you get the rule set, you can play with it. Hours of endless enjoyment you can have with that. It's kind of random. It rolls everything for you, so you don't have to do anything. So we're just going to talk about the character sheet. So you can see we have attributes here. We have wound tracking. As wounds get updated, and you hit enter, it's going to update it based upon your selector, and you can toggle, and the next wound is going to be applied to that. I mean, it's all automated. These are all rollable. Okay. Standard 2d6 task rolls. We have an armor box, armor penalty, and size strength all down here that will get populated. Let's go look at the skills tab. So the skills tab. So these are the skills that were trained as I created the character. So for untrained skills, we can roll it like this, and then we'll even get our effect, because your effect is the difference between success or failure, right? And that matters. If you want to add different skills, they're all on there. All you have to do is hit the edit button, and you can see all the skills are present. And so to train a skill, you just click that, and it'll now show up on your screen. Okay, so that's how I did it. The reason I did it like that was because look at all the skills. There's these skills that are called cascade skills, and so they're all broken up on here, right? So that's just how I decided to do it. I think it's pretty cool. So we have a ships tab. So right now I'm not going to go into that, but well, I could show you real quick. Let's see if I have one on the party sheet. So I do have one on the party sheet. I think, oh no, I got this record. Okay, so there's a PC ships. We'll get into there. All you do is the player will drag this onto here, and there's a unique UIN that's generated from this, and to show that they're linking there, and the player can make all the rolls right here. I gotta adjust this; it's cutting it off. But and then there's a ship's status report here. You'll get that as it's added to the combat tracker and it starts taking damage. It's kind of neat. It tells you like percentages, basically, so you don't have to keep this party sheet open. You can close it out. Okay. Anyways, I'm starting to get on a tangent here, but I think this is going to be pretty cool. You can also say what your job's going to be. All right, so power. So this is for size. So the side's talents work just kind of like skills. You can just edit them and you can learn the skill, right? And then we can add a actual psi power down here, and there's actually a record for it. This is a blank one, obviously. You can to edit that, you hit the edit button, and you can call it, psi powers, whatever you want to call it, right? But you could totally homebrew it. Okay, just you can build out powers from the tab. I'm not going to still try to not go on tangents here. All right, so inventory, it's pretty standard. So I have a few items that I built out. Let's take, all right, so here is some, okay, so this needs to say ablative on it, and it's armor tech properties. All right, so this is cool, so we'll equip that one. And then let's equip the energy rifle. Let's make sure I build it out right. Yep. So you can see that when you do that, it's got the 2d6 in energy. That's the damage type. That's important for effects. And then the rest of these items are like for ships. So the ship's components, weaponry, defenses, and we'll do ships a different time. But you could equip these, and you could see I'm going to have a armor show up here, and then I have my energy rifle. We could set burst damage. There's different ones, auto, panic one, and then it'll like if I do panic, let's do panic, and then I roll it, you can see my ammo goes down, and then I get a burst bonus -2 because that's how panic works, right? And then I go, whoops, get back to 1, I got no ammo, let's reload, right? And then you have to manually decrement the ammo from your inventory. And you know, he can roll that. Effect 2. Oh, because of the effect there. Right, so that I forgot about that. So it's effect -3. It actually adds this to your roll, which is kind of cool. So if I roll it now, it's going to be -2. Effect -2, right? And so he's energy rifle, and it's pulling it from here. So energy rifle, let's see, we have a level 1, trained level 1. So it's rolling it there. So let's see, I'll have to look at that and see why it's not applying this level there. I actually put this down for like 2 months, and I just got back to working on the rule set, so I have to remember all the rules again. But I'll have to double check to see why the trained level is not being applied to the attack. Oh, one of these is an attack and one of them is a damage. That's why. I'm stupid. Right, so that's damage. The level gets applied to the attack. They look the same because this happens to be the same as a task roll. Okay. But if I drag them off, you can see that's an attack and you can see that's a damage. So, okay. Yeah, and it has a damage type on there. Alright, so you can see it gets applied on the skills. If we had an untrained one, let's say I had a, I don't think I have something that's bludgeoning. Alright, melee close quarters. I just got to make sure I built these out right. So if I go back to this and I try to roll this one, I think it's going to be untrained. Yeah, so I get a -3 on that. Okay, so pretty standard there. And then we have notes. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about is combat tracker. So if I add her to the combat tracker and I put in effects, I can do effects like I could do strength 4, okay, and that is the equivalent of raising my strength by +4, right? And so you saw when I did that, it actually adjusted this bonus and it adjusted the number of pips. So I'll show you. If I say -2, you see how it changes? Okay, so then there's another thing I could do. I could go strength, okay, 4. All right, now what does that do? All right, so you can see I have 0 on the modifier. Well, if I roll it now, I'm going to get +4 if I did this right. Yep. Effects 4. All right, but it didn't apply it. All right, so I'll just have to go look at the roller. Anyways, so this is a work in progress. But anyways, you can see that it does work. It's just for whatever reason I didn't apply it to the roller. Okay, so another effects, any of my skills, I have effects for them. So if I just roll admin, it's going to be that. But if I do this, now this is using the same roller, so it may not apply it. Let's see. Yeah, so it's seeing it, but it's not applying it. So it's using the same roller. So I just have to go in and update the roller. It's not a big deal. But you can see the effects are all in. So what other effects do I have? I have a bunch up here. So you can see I have armor, right? This is going to increase his non-energy armor, okay? I have one for ablative. So if I have an attack that uses an energy weapon, it's going to provide an additional 4 of ablative. This is not decremented, although the armor is decremented. Standard, there's a damage. Attack also is implemented. The way armor works is if I take a energy weapon and I attack avatar with it, let's hope this works, it should decrement this by 1, right? But it was 8, so it was 8, I rolled a 9, so it applied 1, but it decremented his armor. So it automatically does that. And actually, if you go look at this item, it actually changes the item too. So that's kind of sweet. All right, so I think that's about it on characters. You know, size work just like magic. So like if you're used to kind of 5e, it's going to kind of work the same, even though some of it's my own coding. Wounds, you could do it like this. You could put wounds in there like that, hit enter. It's all linked on the combat tracker. If you see what the player sees, let me take the Firefly. Oh, well, that's nice. The Firefly's healthy. But if I disabled, I thought it should say damage. Okay, this is better. Maybe it's just structure. Yeah, there we go. So hull is tied into like health, but structure's kind of its own thing. And so you get damaged. If your structure goes to 0, it's destroyed. We'll get more into this. This is kind of sweet how I set this up, but one of my other videos. So anyways, that's characters. Thanks for watching. Next video, I think we're going to do we'll do vehicles. Vehicles are cool. All right, thanks.